You might have been following my journey to build out a great space for myself. It's been a long time since I truly lived on my own, and of course, part of the goal is to make a small area, like my apartment, as versatile as possible. I would want to be able to relax and enjoy watching or playing just about anything on a luxurious big screen, but I also want the area to have some personality. The thought came to me when I moved into this apartment that a large TV, while it is something that is still desirable and undoubtedly very fun to have, it would make it so that the entire wall that it is on is just dedicated to being that TV. And yet the desire to have a big screen still remained. So you can see what my dilemma is here. That's when my friends over at Hisense, who are also sponsoring this video, came to me with a solution that made a lot of sense: a projector. And that's when I decided to get kind of creative, and the result is an entertainment space that I'm honestly really proud of, made possible with the help of an elegant but almost surprisingly practical solution to my big screen problem. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? These are the Hisense C2 projectors, including the base C2, the C2 Pro, and the fully stacked C2 Ultra, which is exactly what I use now for my entertainment needs. I'm personally no stranger to what Hisense has done with their TVs and their projector tech, but for my space, my somewhat new space here, I realized that I needed to maximize every inch of my apartment, and that included making each area multifaceted. And I think I've done that with the entertainment area that pulls multiple duties. It's a decorative music listening area with a record player and bookshelf speakers. It's a legitimate home theater made possible by a 100-inch retractable projector screen that comes down when it's time for a cinema-like experience. And it's also the background area. I actually mean that term in a couple of different ways. Sometimes the Elite Screen's projector screen is down and playing stuff while I'm working. Other times the entire setup is literally the background of my videos here on YouTube, as you have probably seen here on my channel. I'm seriously proud of what I've done with this whole entertainment area, and I just gave you a quick rundown of the various bits and pieces that make it all up. So let's get to the stars of this show. We're going to start off with the entry point here in the Hisense portable projector lineup. Now the Hisense C2 puts the high performance display first, with the projector bulb pumping out 2000 lumens of bright viewing in a pretty full-featured body style. This is a panning and tilting swivel stand right here that allows the projector to be positioned conveniently, and it just makes it easy for you to create your setup so that you can see it clearly on whatever surface it might be, whether it's a proper projector screen like I've shown you already, or just onto, let's say, a wall, indoor or outdoor. But of course, this is more about creating a cinema-like experience in the comfort of my living room right here, and all of these C2 projectors make that really easy with auto keystoning, auto sizing, and auto positioning, and auto focusing of the projected image with just a press of the button. It honestly feels like magic whenever I hit the automatic adjustments, as the C2 uses digital zoom and autofocus to find the black borders of my retractable screen and make it fit perfectly. In my case, as I mentioned, I've maxed out the space on the particular wall that I've put the screen on with a 100-inch projector surface, and that is still properly glorious in my opinion. And all of that automatic keystoning and autofocus makes it so that the projector can sit right next to the couch perched atop a console for my gaming consoles, without the need for a tripod with a tilting head, because the C2 can tilt and swivel all on its own. And since this is a swivel stand, I can go ahead and swivel it around and show you that around back, you have all of the necessary ports, including a couple of USB connections alongside 2 HDMI ports, and you already know what I'm going to be plugging into these HDMI ports. The Switch 2 and the PS5 are my go-to gaming experiences, with this projector providing max 240Hz refresh rate at 2K resolution if I want to get that super smooth gameplay alongside the auto low latency modes. But if you're not much of a gamer, the projector can practically stand on its own with the VIDA support, providing easy and smooth access to all streaming services, including native support for Netflix, where the Dolby Vision activates with plenty of that 4K content in the library. Most of the time though, I'm spending my time in YouTube, and it's still gorgeous to watch on here, as the C2 covers 110% of the BT 2020 color gamut. Accessing all of those streaming services and settings is really easy with the included remote that is included with every C2 model. This smart remote also includes a microphone for usage of voice assistants, either via the VIDA voice software or Amazon Alexa. And at the bottom here, all of these buttons right here take me straight to the various streaming services that I would use the most. And finally, for now, while the speakers on the C2, the base model, are dual 10-watt speakers powered by JBL, the setup of the base C2 and the Pro model that I'm about to talk about has actually been best paired with the bookshelf speakers that are situated right below the projector screen, courtesy of a Bluetooth connectivity that could actually go to a pair of headphones if I really wanted to get immersed or get real sweaty in my video games. The Hisense C2 Pro model ups the ante by making the same triple laser, the trichroma tech that Hisense is well known for, brighter and even more capable, going beyond the Dolby Vision certification and achieving an IMAX certification as well. It has a higher brightness than the base model, going up to 2,600 lumens, making it even easier to view when the afternoon daylight is pouring through my windows like it is right now. Now, nearly all of the features remain here with the same body style that allows for versatile positioning of the projector for tilting and swiveling and whatnot, which means, once again, that magical auto keystoning and autofocusing allows this C2 Pro to swap right into the place that I originally had the C2 in. But the difference in the auto adjustments here is that the C2 Pro uses optical zoom instead of the digital that the base C2 has. It all ensures that the image is as crisp and vivid as possible. And with the added brightness, there is even more usability during the daytime, with the image still looking great in the middle of the day, and even better than the base C2 once it's evening movie time. I'm watching all kinds of content using the C2 Pro, including Dolby Vision enhanced movies on Netflix to older classics like Ghibli films from the 90s. And let me tell you, if you're a Ghibli fan and you haven't seen Porco Rosso, I might have just mentioned to you what will be your new favorite Miyazaki film. Titles like that and any content that might not already be at 4K originally, let's say, benefit from the 4K AI upscaling that all of the C2 projectors boast. And there's very little fuss required to make sure that all content looks incredible no matter which model you get. And with the different settings that are available in the menus, you can also get a lot of freedom to tweak the brightness, the colors, and clarity to your desires. This is actually the first projector lineup, or just projectors in general, that I've used where I put my full trust in the AI scene detection that adjusts the settings according to like the ambient light sensor and to the content that it knows is being played. I've had no complaints about the look of whatever I'm watching, and that's all thanks to the smart processing that Hisense has been improving year upon year with their trichroma laser. The C2 Pro is actually the projector that I've used the most during my time with this entire lineup, once again paired with the bookshelf speakers that I have as part of the entertainment wall, since the C2 Pro actually sports the same speaker and sound setup as the base model. And I also used it the most because the C2 Ultra took a little bit to arrive after I got the other two projectors for testing, and I wasn't really prepared for the surprise that the top-tier Hisense C2 projector was going to give me. Because let me tell you, Hisense was not joking when they called this thing Ultra. We already went through why the other projectors are great, going from the base model, which starts things off with highly effective usage of the trichroma laser, moving on to the Pro model that increases that image quality with an IMAX certification, brighter output, and better contrast ratios that enhance all of the included software and streaming services and anything you might have connected to the back. And that all continues with this Ultra model right here, which takes things further with a rounded up 3000 lumens of brightness to continue supporting the 2000:1 contrast ratio, the 240Hz refresh rate, again at 2K resolution, Dolby Vision, IMAX certification, and the HDR output. I thought the Pro was already giving me a good viewing experience, even in the middle of the day when I'm distracted from my work, but now the Ultra is making it even more comfortable to just sit back and watch on the couch whenever the mood strikes. And then of course it's even better at the evening viewing times, watching with dinner or with a drink and catching up on some of the classics. Seriously, Porco Rosso, get on it if you haven't already. Now the Pro was already a great way for me to play my favorite games, and lately it's been all about Street Fighter 6 on the Nintendo Switch 2. This is where the high refresh rate, low latency, and low input lag come in to make sure that even high twitch fighting games like Street Fighter 6 are effectively playable on the projector. And that all continues on the Ultra, as you can see, so much so in fact that it claims to be a projector made specifically for gaming and in particular designed for the Xbox. And I would agree, since all of the features accessed through the game menu provided the right environment for me to climb the Street Fighter 6 ladder up to Diamond rank with Sagat. Now I will admit one thing here, while the input lag on the projector itself is enough to enjoy that game, and certainly any single player game you can throw at it, certainly story-based games and non-competitive games are going to be fantastic on a huge screen and with this type of fidelity through the image. The only aspect that was a little bit less than ideal for that competitive gameplay in fighting games like Street Fighter 6 was the slight Bluetooth audio latency that is just normal to have, and that came when I was connecting this to my bookshelf speakers. But that's where the real surprise came in. Notice that the swivel stand right here is quite a bit thicker than what you've seen in previous projectors. While that does mean that the Ultra model is a little less travel friendly, this thick area down here is actually housing an extra feature that makes this effectively an all-in-one projector home theater setup. You still get the dual 10-watt JBL speakers, but they are now supported by a built-in 20-watt subwoofer. Yeah, you heard that right. There is a surprisingly powerful booming subwoofer in here that adds a level of dimension to the already included speakers that the other two projectors simply didn't have. Now, while on the C2 Pro, I did opt for playing Street Fighter 6 with just the audio coming straight from the projector for the sake of as low latency as possible across my experience, the C2 Ultra is providing all of the audio on its own simply because it's actually that good. And since the projector generally sits right beside me and my girlfriend while we're watching shows and movies to our heart's content, the sound then feels even more personal and warmer than ever because the subwoofer provides those low-end frequencies way better. I've talked a lot about how proud I am of the record player-centric setup I made for the entertainment wall with everything that it entails, but even if all I had was the projector screen, I'd feel just fine because the C2 Ultra manages to provide great audio to go along with the awesome visual experience. Recently, I even went through a little bit of a marathon of various Fast and Furious movies on Netflix, and yeah, all of that action-oriented audio was coming through just fine on the speakers and subwoofer of the C2 Ultra, really rounding out that experience. And so, there you have it, the Hisense C2 projector lineup and all of the reasons why each one works so well in the setup that I've created for myself. There are reasons to go for the base model, including its smaller and lighter build that lends to some versatility. Or you can go to the Pro model, which goes further in the trichroma triple laser projection for even better viewing and gaming. But it's this C2 Ultra that obviously provides the best of all worlds with the inclusion of the subwoofer in the swivel stand so that it can cover the audio and visual aspects with flying colors. Sure, the C2 Ultra may not move around me as much as the base C2 could, but that's okay because my objective was to make a versatile media and entertainment center, and I feel good to know that I have achieved that. For more info on the various projectors in the Hisense C2 lineup and to check one out for yourself, you can see them in links that I have put in the description and in the pinned comment below. Let me know which one you would like to make the centerpiece of your entertainment in the comments. From there though, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. Please take care of yourselves and each other and enjoy your tea, everybody.